Good evening, friends, and welcome to the most nerve-wracking Tuesday in history. I probably can't say in history, there's probably been a lot worse, but to those of us in the US, and probably by extension the entire world, it's nerve-wracking. I will not say any more, but I do have good vibes right now, and I made some coffee, so let's go ahead and share the first sip we've had in a while. Oh yeah. So, we got some fancy coffee creamer, like seasonal stuff, like pumpkin spice and a special Christmas peppermint one, and they're both really good. But I just made this cup using traditional milk and sugar because the creamer bottles we got are relatively small, and I want to make those last. So I probably won't use those every day, probably like every other day or something. But yeah, this is my third cup of the day. I still have to be up for a little while. It's almost 10:30, and yeah, I am essentially just hanging out, watching YouTube videos, waiting for Kayla to get home, things along those lines. I have been making steady progress in my book, especially since the last time I vlogged. I haven't made nearly as much progress as those days where I would write like 15,000 words in a single day, and honestly, that's not a healthy, sustainable amount for me. I'm not Brandon Sanderson, and I think I got really burned out on my book for a while because I kept trying to match that pace, but now I'm actually limiting how much I write a day. I am writing about 1,000 words to maybe 1,500 a day. Sometimes if I'm really inspired and the words are really flowing, I'll get to like 2,000 or 3,000, but 1,000 is the average I'm giving myself. And it's been nice. I'm feeling more motivation to write because of the fact that I'm limiting how much I'm writing. And it makes me excited to pick it back up the next day. Like yesterday, I actually stopped at a perfect point in the story, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so good right now. And I'm like, I really want to write more, but I'll save this for tomorrow, so that way tomorrow me can experience the same excitement. And the same didn't exactly happen today, but I did get a good start on a scene that was originally giving me a lot of trouble. And originally, the scene I'm currently writing was supposed to come before the scene I just finished, but I rearranged them because I felt more inspired to write the scene I just finished. And that scene ended up being almost 6,000 words long. So it was a lot of inspiration that just kind of struck like a bolt of lightning, and it was amazing. And I loved that. I also applied to a couple of remote customer service jobs, which suck and are the devil, but I would like to get some supplemental income going. I'm also reminding myself that, you know, I probably shouldn't say anything like that on the vlog, so pretend I didn't say anything. But essentially, I'm not feeling as pressured to do so as I was previously. So I feel like I have a better chance now because I'm just kind of doing this of my own volition. I want the extra financial assistance, and I want to be able to buy my own video games because my god, there are so many good video games coming out. Metaphor ReFantazio just came out. We've got Dragon Quest III HD coming out. Next year we've got another Trails game. Ys 10 Nordics came out. Like, it's insane. And the Xenoblade X remake. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I even mentioned that. It's also because I've actually tried vlogging a few times at the start of this month, but I've just never finished any. Well, okay, that's not completely accurate. I did technically record one full vlog earlier this month. I just ended up deleting it because I think I was demotivated to upload it for some reason or another. But yeah, the Xenoblade X remaster definitive edition, it sounds like it's going to have additional story content, which is incredibly exciting. I've never beaten the original Xenoblade X, but I do know the game ended on a cliffhanger, so maybe we'll get a little more closure this time around. I think that'd be exciting. I was always assuming Takahashi... I know Takahashi is behind the series. I don't know if he's the one who actually does the writing, but I just say Takahashi because that's just what I know. And if I'm wrong, feel free to let me know. But I always assumed Takahashi left the game on a cliffhanger with the intent to make a sequel. I heard that the game's development was kind of rushed, so they had to cut a lot of content, like especially out of the story. So maybe that's also partially why it ends on a cliffhanger. But either way, I am so excited for the definitive edition. Online multiplayer functionality again, that's gonna be great. One of my buddies is super excited about that because he loves playing games like other people, and he loves the Xenoblade series. So I know I know he's super psyched about being able to do the online multiplayer with Xenoblade X again on an online service that's not shut down like the Nintendo Wi-Fi on the Wii U and such. Lots of exciting stuff coming out, and I'm making steady progress on my book. I think I might have mentioned it on the vlog before, but my original goal was to try to finish the book by November 8th. That is no longer a possibility, as it is November 5th, borderline November 6th, and I still have quite a bit left to go. I'm at the last arc of the book. Like, it's the final storyline of the book, but it's still going to be a very long time before I finish it. Each scene is basically a chapter in itself, and when I actually go to publish it, I plan on editing those chapters down. Instead of making it 20 really, really long chapters, it's going to be like 100-something smaller chapters, so that way it's easier for readers to digest. And also it'll just flow better that way anyway, instead of having these super long chapters that are kind of all over the place. Lots of exciting stuff though, and there's a lot of dread going on out there and everything like that, and a lot of worries, but I hope to kind of record these vlogs again as sort of a safe place for the people who need it, because, I'm an LGBT plus ally and a member on multiple accounts. I'm asexual. I've never really addressed it on the vlog, but I came out as trans not long ago, at least to my friends, and while I do mostly identify as a trans female, I'm kind of gender fluid because I'm starting to not care as much. So, I'm actually thinking about growing out my mustache and beard again and just kind of being like, whatever. I go by a girl's name now, but, when it comes to close friends, I don't mind them still calling me Jacob, same with family, things like that. I know this is kind of big news to just suddenly drop on the vlog, but I figured I might as well tell you guys at some point, and I feel better kind of getting it out there too. So, anyone who's watching, if you've known me for your entire life and you know me as Jacob, feel free to call me that. But for anyone else who doesn't know me, or you're just meeting me, I prefer the name Erin, E-R-I-N, but, for the people who've known me all my life, do what's comfortable, because I really don't care that much. But I just thought I'd throw that out there. I'm sending out good vibes, and I want to let you guys know, I believe in trans rights, I believe in women's rights, I believe in basically everything that makes us free people. And yeah, there's a lot of complications related to that, and I won't really go into the details because this isn't the place for that, but I wanted to let you know that if you do fall into those categories, this is a safe space for you. I love you all, and I see you all too. With that being said, let's end this vlog off for today. I think I've talked your guys' ears off long enough. Hopefully I'll be back more tomorrow, because I want to start doing these daily again. But thank you guys so much for watching. You are all wonderful people, and as always, let's do our best tomorrow.